Every single night, I step out of the Lyceum and am greeted by a flock of young people who are so ahead of the game in terms of figuring out who they are. I'm meeting people who are 14, 15, 16, who are out to their families, out to their friends, wearing patches and pins, proclaiming their uniqueness and their specialness. And as a 33-year-old man who came out to his dad at 30, I'm meeting these young people and I'm feeling really energized and inspired by their bravery and their pride. So I got to tell you, there's a lot of pride on stage on Broadway. Obviously, like there's no other community, no other industry that is as accepting to our community as the Broadway community is. But the audiences on Broadway, they're full of pride too. And so it's been such a joy to meet so many of these young people who just got it together. And it's a solid indicator, I think, of where we are going as a society. We are making strides towards being more inclusive, and it's about damn time. I feel like this season, more than any other season that I've experienced, we've seen Broadway wrap their loving arms around the LGBTQ plus community in such a beautiful, accepting, warm kind of a way, with productions like Torch Song, Michael Urie, Get Out of Town, productions like The Prom, and even our show, Be More Chill. There's so much inclusivity, and there's so many different gay characters being portrayed on the stage that I feel like people from all walks of life who are coming from all corners of the country and the world can come to see see these shows and see themselves in some of these characters on stage. So that representation is pretty dope, and I'm honored to be a part of that. I can speak for my own experience of how Broadway and the theater world as a broader community has affected, or had affected, me as a young person, as a young gay person. Before I found theater, before I found Broadway, I felt super alone. I felt weird. I felt icky about the things that I was learning about myself. But when I found a theater community, when I found that kind of home base, that safe place, I found open arms and acceptance and no judgment, and just like a lot of love. And so, it's now to be an adult and to be on the other side of that conversation, it feels like the greatest reward, and a really lovely full circle to be able to be a part of that embrace, right? To be a part of the open arms that are so lovingly wrapping themselves around a new generation. You are hard-pressed to find a tighter-knit community, a more supportive community than the Broadway community. And, through so many organizations and so many fundraising efforts, there's a never-ending calendar of support that we give to our brothers and sisters. As a family, the Broadway community really feels like a family. We have each other's backs. And so, whether it's just moral support or financial support or anything like that, we've all got each other's backs in such a lovely way. And, I hope that no one out there feels alone. I urge you all to find resources, because we're here. We're here for the taking. We've all been through the best of times and the worst of times, and I think there's a lot to learn from everyone's experiences. I love the Broadway community, and I love what we do for each other. It's lovely, lovely, lovely stuff. If I got to hop in a DeLorean time machine and go back in time and have a conversation with young George, I would tell young George to love himself, and I would tell young George to not to wait, to come out to his parents and to be proud of who he is. Because the things that make him different and weird and not ordinary are the things that make him extraordinary, and are the things that make him really, really special. And I say that not to just young George, but I say that to young everyone who are watching this video right now. Be proud of who you are, fight for yourself, and love yourself.